And we're back. That's right. We're back. Episode three plus the special
Plus
from
the
last
special.
week. So I hope some of you got a hold of that. Thanks for coming back. Really appreciate you coming back and doing it again. We still want you to spread the word for us if you can. We're kind of enjoying doing this. We used to talk quite a bit during the week. We still do, but we kind of hold off on some of this stuff until we get in front of a camera. That way we can, argue like brothers do in front of
natural reactions.
Well, what we hope will be millions of people one of these days.
Exactly.
But
I really need to quit my job.
We'll
so
take a. Ooh, man, wouldn't that be great?
That'd be awesome.
Because see, people get paid to argue about this stuff all the time. I'd like to get paid to argue about this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So
I'm really, be a big jackass.
Well, we got. He is a jackass. We got a lot of family paying attention right now. So hey, tell your friends, tell your family that we are. But you know what I'm saying. We really want to get this thing out there. So
we do. I mean, we got some more subscribers. Got a couple more yesterday, actually, looking at it, and it's slowly growing. I said we've only been doing 2 weeks. This is our third week, so
that's right.
Our hopes were a little faster, but that's just because we're greedy like that.
Well, we always
like to think, why wouldn't somebody want to listen to us?
Why would they not want to listen to us? I mean, of course, that's why we're doing this, because people really got tired of listening to us.
Exactly. But it's getting out there, and we do appreciate that.
We do.
Let your family, let your friends, spread the word out, and just keep tuning in. We're going to get better and better. At least that's the game plan.
Yeah, and as you see, we're a little bit bundled up today, and we moved the old cast back outside here to the fun shed, and I got to thinking, I was complaining a little bit this week whenever I read the story that the NFL's thinking about putting limits on when they play in the weather.
Yeah.
And you think back to the old NFL videos of playing in the frozen tundra. And I got to think, come on now, if I'm going to complain about them not letting the guys play, we need to do it in the cold. So we're doing it in the cold. We're out here, in the elements, doing it in the cold. It's about 32 degrees.
No, it's under that. It's below freezing.
It's below freezing again here in beautiful Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So I figured, what the hell, if they can go out there and be forced to play football in the weather, and I used to referee in this mess. You played in this mess, and even though I'm 61 years old, we can get out here. We're going to do this in the cold. We're going to work our way through it. We're going to force ourselves to go through it, and I won't take my shirt off and paint anything on me, because that's all.
I'm still trying to get it.
Bundle up. But I saw that, before we get into anything else, I saw that story, and it said that, for the fans, they said a few of them got hypothermia.
Yeah, like 15 or 16 went to the hospital.
Well, I mean,
and I can probably pinpoint a couple of them, because a couple of them they kept showing on
well,
TV.
you either love the game or you don't. I mean, if you want,
you can love the game.
Well, you pay that kind of money for the ticket, you got to go.
I agree to go, but don't go without it.
I mean, what do you think?
Do you foot of snow and -12? Nobody cares if you're going shirtless.
Well, but do you think they need to put a limit on? I mean, they are. I mean, back in the 60s and 70s they never even stopped for lightning.
Right.
They played through thunderstorms.
Right.
Now they stop for lightning.
Well, now they're concerned about death. So
back in the day they didn't really care too much. If they drug them off the field, they drug them off the field. So I mean, do you think they need to put a restriction on weather as far as cold with football?
If it gets horribly bad, I guess you can.
Oh,
I just.
Well, where's the line? What's horribly bad?
I don't know. Football was always that one game and that one sport that you knew no matter what it was going to be on.
Well, and
you're going to watch it, and
that's my deal. I think it need. I mean, it's more fun when you play in weather. It's more fun. I mean, whenever I refereed the high school football, I loved refereeing in the weather. I loved
playing it. I love watching it in the weather. Of course, it's a little easier to enjoy watching when it's 70 degrees in your house.
Well, sure. Well, and football itself is funner when you played in the weather. I did this one thing. Again, just a little off the top. What the hell? That's what we're here for. When I was refereeing high school football, I got a call from one of the referees in the association. Said that he's got a special game he needs help refereeing over the weekend. I said, no, it's a little extra cash.
Yeah.
Pay me whatever it was. I said, sure, I got nothing going on tomorrow. I said, where are we going? He said, well, we're going to go to the state prison.
Oh,
and we're going to referee a prison football game. I saw the movie The Longest Yard, so I figured, what the hell, let's go give this a shot. I tell you what, it was probably one of the funnest football games I've ever refereed in my life. These guys, and it was raining, and they lined the field, but the lines were going kind of like this. So one end of the field was this wide, and one end of the field was this way. and you get and you're the and I was playing doing the umpire position, which is right behind the defensive
Right.
line, so you could hear everything that was being said, and it wasn't.
Oh, I bet that was.
It wasn't chewing gum
Yeah.
and bubbles and cotton candy, but it was great. But I enjoyed refereeing in the cold and in the rain and in the snow, and it was just fun. So.
Yeah. But I think there's a limit now. What that limit is, I don't know. I mean, I think postponing the Steeler game when you got 2 foot of snow, I get that. They couldn't even clear the field. They couldn't get it ready. They couldn't I understand that.
Sure. Well, in a situation where you can't get the field clear, I can understand you can't play.
You've got to be able to play. So
but I read on that thing that they're trying to talk about. They said that if they can't clear the field and the stands and the seats and the walkways, and if they can't have all of it cleared, they're not going to play.
Right.
Well, I get it.
That's when they had that call, and they had volunteers. Hell, they had people.
Oh yeah.
They had everybody just showing up to do it, and during the game.
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures of they had they had a line of fans standing out with shovels ready to go get it. That's loving the game.
That's impressive.
That's loving your team, and that's all well and good, and that's fine. But anyway, NFL playoffs.
All right. Well, this is what is today? Today is the 21st of January. So the Ravens Texans yesterday, and the 49ers Packers last night.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much went like I figured. The Texans hung on for a while. Ravens are just Lamar Jackson's just so good. He's just so once he gets going. Once at halftime, I can't remember what the score was at half, but it was close. They came out at halftime.
Yeah.
There was adjustments made. They saw something because second half they picked them up.
Well, they're just unfortunately again. You and I have talked about this in the past two casts about I don't want to see Baltimore in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I don't either.
They are they're a good team. They are a worthy team. I just don't like the style. I mean, but I say I don't like the style of football they play, but I mean, man, you can't. Can't deny it.
Jackson is so good. He reads the defense so well. He does. He just looks fluid out there. He looks like when he's when you think he's wrapped up and he's not wrapped up, and then he goes for he had a run yesterday for 28, 30 yards right up the middle, and it just looked like the defense was just staring at him, watching him run down the field.
Yeah,
it was right up the middle.
What do you do? I mean, and the announcer said they got a guy keying on him on every play. They could tell who the guy was that was keying on him on every play, and they still couldn't stop him.
Well, they still couldn't stop him.
They still can't stop him.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Well, if their offensive line is
they'll run a scheme, they're good. And then when you turn around, the Ravens, they've got a defense. Their defense is fast. Their defense is C.J. Stroud, I think, is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But they just got outmanned. They're too young. They just weren't ready for it.
No.
Stroud couldn't handle that defense. But I think the Texans, they impressed me. Stroud's better than what I thought he was going to be.
Well, he for a rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh.
Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback.
Well, and they said the average age is what? Which was that? Which came out? The Packers is what I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Packers. Go ahead and finish this one. But I mean, they're good. Baltimore's just good top to bottom. I mean, they don't make mistakes, and anytime they have they seem to be able to solve the issue that they're having and just get better. And I don't know.
Yeah,
they're going to be hard to beat.
I mean, they're going to be real hard to beat.
I mean, Buffalo. You got Buffalo, Kansas City today in Buffalo. It's going to be colder than hell again. But both teams are used to playing in the cold. That is to say that nobody's used to playing in certain cold. But I mean, the weather I don't think is going to be as big a factor as it was last week for either of those teams.
And it wasn't a huge factor last week especially Kansas City, But the Ravens did what they were supposed to do. They took care of business. They just slow going, but they got there.
Well, in Houston, give them props. I got to give them props. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs.
No, their team is going to be around. They're young. They make some moves. They're going to be around for a while.
Yeah, they are.
And they're good.
Yeah, they are.
Then the late game, the 49ers and the Packers.
Oh man, I stayed up late for that thing to watch it, and I tell you what.
Again, the Packers. Man, I had them wrote off about week 11 or 12.
Well, but you want to talk about a team that's young.
Yeah.
That's the one that they said nobody on the field was over the age of 30.
Yeah.
I mean, my God.
Yeah, Jordan Love's going to be. He made some stupid mistakes. He made, and especially the interception to end the game. I mean, you don't run. That late in the game, when the game on the line, and you're running to your right, and you throw back across your body, back through the middle of the field. You can't do that
in the rain.
in the rain. There was the
Well,
there was the video of it of Chase Young already celebrating as soon as he let go of the ball. Chase Young celebrating because he knows it's fixing to happen because he's thrown into double coverage. But that was a heck of a game. Christian McCaffrey showed why I don't understand.
He's one of the best.
I don't get it. You look at him and you watch him and you don't understand how he does what he does.
Well, he reminds me a little bit of the success of a Wes Welker in that he's not this big strapping,
Yeah, but he's doing it strictly from the running back position.
I know. He's just
strictly from the running back position. He catches out of the backfield. He just does everything, and every year
he's so successful.
And he stayed healthy this year.
Yes,
which has been a big deal for him. For those of you who play fantasy football like I do, he's pissed you off 2 or 3 years in a row because he keeps getting hurt. But
the last year I played fantasy football, I had Christian McCaffrey. He was my number 1 pick, and he got hurt, so I stopped playing.
Yeah,
I can't do it anymore. So. But then Purdy, Purdy's. Golly, see,
a good story.
See, we live in Big 12 country.
We saw Purdy for years.
And every time he played against OSU, I was afraid of him.
Same thing with OU.
Oklahoma State, by the way, not the other OSU, but Oklahoma State. And he's good. He's serviceable.
You can't tell me anybody out there would have said, yeah, he's going to be an MVP type quarterback in the NFL. No way.
Neither was Tom Brady.
Right. No.
I don't either.
We're still
not a fan.
He's gone. I don't.
Yeah,
he can stay away.
No, I mean, as deep as he was in the draft, Purdy, is he going to be Tom Brady? No. Only time will tell. But to be drafted, the 7th round, last pick of the draft, that's always the joke position. It's always,
But again, you go back to what we talked about the last podcast we had when we talked about the probably not a word unimportance of coaching. No, they don't have as much, but they do put the schemes in, and he's got it. Shannon's got a scheme that works, perfect for Purdy. He's got to keep the guy moving, and he moves, and he's elusive, and he made that one throw on the run to Kittle in the end zone that was beautiful.
Oh yeah, but I look back and there's most all of the quarterbacks in the NFL could make that play.
Sure. Should be able to make that play.
And, again, it's a scheme, it's a call, it's a play call, but the guys on the field have to perform the task. The call, the play was not designed for you to run around in the backfield until you find an open receiver and throw the football. The initial play blew up, and then it's just athleticism making the play. And
that's what Purdy's good at.
These are the greatest athletes.
He's good at creating, and again, he's not what you would have expected, but
he's just.
It was really a good game. I'm glad it was a good game. I was afraid the 49ers, honestly, were going to blow them out.
I had them blowing them out, which is again why I don't gamble anymore. I did that for many years too, and that didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would have. I mean, what was the line? I didn't see the closing line. Did you see the closing line? It had to be 2 touchdowns. It had to be probably 13.
It started. No, I think it started like at 10 or 11 or something.
Right.
Like that.
So I mean, I would have played the 49ers. I think they should have. I'd have played them beaten.
I would have.
I'd have laid 13 on them. I mean, Green Bay is going to be really, really good for the next few years if they don't trade out or get hurt or anything like that. They're young, they're aggressive, they play well, they're consistent, and they for some reason they had a lot of penalties yesterday.
Well, they did. Yeah.
I mean,
but they're going to have to get and he'll get better. Jordan, he just made some stupid mistakes. He made 2 or 3 bad decisions and trying to force the balls in and trying to make something happen instead of
and how many people said he wasn't going to, my God, they're getting rid of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Is he ready to do this? Is he ready to step in? Yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, and the talk with Trey Lance was going to be the big pickup ahead of Jordan Love. And once again, you see where Trey Lance is and you see what Jordan Love's doing. Jordan Love, he's going to be good. Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud and quarterback position is definitely alive and well, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. I mean, and the new style of quarterback is here.
Yep.
Let's move to Kansas City, Buffalo tonight. Josh Allen type of quarterback is they're not in the NCAA hardly anymore.
But that's the thing.
Guys.
Josh Allen is he runs the ball 8 to 10 times a game.
Yeah, but not
But
they're not designed plays.
not normally.
I mean,
he'll run a couple design quarterback keepers. He'll do the shove my quarterback 2 yards to get a first down thing.
Sure, but they can't. He can't do what the Mahomes, the Jacksons, and he can't do what they do. But he's so good. He's so good at checking down and finding the receiver. And
well, he burned Pittsburgh on a couple of long runs that not that Pittsburgh had a
who doesn't burn Pittsburgh. See, here we go again. You don't have LC. You don't have Greenwood. You don't have Joe Green. You don't have who's the big middle linebacker.
The problem is Jack Lamb.
You don't have come on.
I
wasn't Tommy Novus.
I mean, the game's over, but when you're hosting Dreams Rely on Mason Rudolph and Mitch Trubisky, you're pretty much screwed from the beginning.
Yeah, they got. They got. I mean, to get what they got with all the injuries they had, come on.
They've done. They just. Yeah.
What do you think?
That's another topic.
Sure. So what do you think tonight? What do you think's going on?
What are we talking about? Chiefs and Bills or the Bucks and Lions?
Let's go with Chiefs and Bills first. Let's see what's happening.
I really think the Bills are finally going to break through. I really think they're going to finally win one.
Why?
I just think it's time. I think Josh Allen he's playing well. He's playing. I don't know. It's just a feeling I got. Part of it's probably a heart pick. I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs win, but they're just so good on the run. They're so good in the pass. They're so good. I don't think the Chiefs can keep up. I don't think it's going to be a blowout thing. I'm thinking Bills like a 31-27 type game.
I think it's going to be. I agree with you. I think the Bills are going to pull this one out. Yeah. I think they're just. I think
it's time for them.
I just think there's still too much. There's still something about Kansas City that's the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season. There was something in there to me. They weren't clicking like the Chiefs usually click. There's just some. Now last week it was a bad example because of the cold, the snow,
it's hard to get a feel for.
They couldn't. You were just out there. I mean, when you get hit and your helmet breaks. I mean, it's a little cold outside, awesome. And they were just struggling to get through the week. They were better prepared than Miami to play in the cold. They were a more mature team than Miami. Okay, that's not the case this week. That's not the case. I mean, Buffalo's
defense is a lot better than Miami's.
Well, and Buffalo's been there, and they're hungry. They really need to beat Kansas City finally. They've lost 3 years in a row, I think, Kansas City.
They've got to get over that hump, and I think they do.
I do too. Playing at home, the cold is not going to be that much of a factor. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be snow. I think it's just going to be cold.
I think it's just really, really cold again. Neither one of these teams.
I just think Buffalo's got it this time. I really do, and I really want to see Buffalo play Baltimore. And I still want Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl. So I don't know.
I would like for them to go. We'll get to that here in a second.
That means he's got something to say.
The afternoon game.
Well, let's go NFC yesterday. Bill already did the Packers. Talked about that.
Lions and Buccaneers this afternoon.
What do you think?
Well, I think the Lions are going to win. Honestly, I'm happy either way. Both teams, I have no issue with them. I would prefer to see the Lions win, just because they've never been to a Super Bowl. I would love to see them get the chance. They've built that team the right way over the past few years. I just think that's a good story. And of course, the Buccaneers, bringing Baker in from out of nowhere that nobody wanted again.
Exactly.
And he just wins.
That's all he does.
And it's going to be a good game. I really do. I think the Lions will win, but I'm hoping the Lions win because I think they got more of a legit shot to beat the 49ers than the Bucs do.
See, I agree with that. I think the Buccaneers are on borrowed time.
Sure.
To steal a phrase, but I mean, they again, they shouldn't be there. They shouldn't have won. They shouldn't have done this. They shouldn't have that. But when you get a guy like Mayfield in there, who is, I mean, my God, the kid.
You say what you want.
He's a leader.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets in there and he just says, "We're going to win, and this is how we're going to win. So everybody stick behind me, and we'll go win." And he does. He wins. Now, I mean, again, with Cleveland, he won enough. He got to the playoffs, and Cleveland hadn't been to the playoffs in however long it was. Right. And, then everybody keeps picking you up and try to be a backup and he just keeps taking over,
it can't. Yeah, it's because of who the guy is and being from here, and he's a tough personality to really like.
Yeah.
but he's cocky. But the guy backs it up. I mean, you can't. I would love to see if the Steelers would pick him up. I wouldn't faze me one bit. I'm not totally sold on the Kenny Pickett deal, but he's got a 1-year deal after 1-year deal. So whether or not the Bucks, re-sign him or whatever, I don't know.
Well, but his injuries, though, man, he's hurt everywhere.
Yeah.
Right now, he's playing hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not.
That's because he plays.
I guess, yeah, he's not
reckless.
Durable.
Right.
He goes out there. He does everything he can to win a football game, and that's great. But you're not in the Mountain West Conference and in the NCAA. You're in the NFL. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anytime you get across that line of scrimmage, you're going to get hit. You're going to get drilled. You're going to get hit hard. He can't take very many more hits the way he's going right now. I mean,
he's basically like a more experienced Brock Purdy. I mean, I think Purdy's leading into that kind of thing. That he's good right now, but
he's a player.
Not as big as he is.
He's just a player.
Yeah,
and
he's what they call a football player.
And he's fearless. I mean, the guy will do anything he can to. And I don't even know who's the Bucks' backup if he goes down tonight.
Yeah, you know what? I have no idea.
I have no idea. I don't. Because nobody thinks of that because he's. I don't know. I mean, I agree with you.
Breaks something, he's going to be out there.
yeah. I agree with you. I'm going to go with the Lions too. Yeah. I was hoping for a Lions-Browns Super Bowl when we first started the podcast here, but can't have it all. I'll be satisfied with the Lions-Buffalo Bills Super Bowl. I mean, the Lions, I think, they find a way to win.
Right.
And every now and then you get one of those teams in the Super Bowl that just finds a way to win. And I think it'd be great for the fan base of Detroit. I think it would be great for the NFL.
Oh, it'd be great for the NFL. It's a great story.
Well,
one of these teams can't get it. Great.
Yeah, you got Detroit and Buffalo. Neither one have won a Super Bowl.
Buffalo's won.
Well, they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they won.
No, they haven't.
Are you sure?
I don't think they've ever won a Super Bowl. First challenge of our podcast.
Right.
I don't think the Buffalo Bills have ever won a Super Bowl.
I don't know.
The Cowboys beat them twice. The Giants beat them once. They lost 3 in a row because I was a closet Buffalo Bills fan at the time. Because sidebar here. But no, I don't think they've ever won one. I think
you're right.
I think they're one of the they're one of the teams that hasn't. Yeah, they've been three. Right. They're like the Vikings. They've been there forever.
And, the Vikings.
They never win.
See, I was your Buffalo Bills was kind of like me being I was always a Steelers fan, but I was also I loved watching the Vikings play.
Sure.
And I loved watching Fran Tarkenton, and they kept going for 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
They kept losing,
and they can win.
Yeah.
And that's
I was thinking they won.
Because they've been there so many times.
I guess I just take it for granted they did.
And they and every game they lost was a field goal game, I believe. And wow, I just love to see it. I'd love to see it. But Buffalo's got to beat Baltimore and they got to beat Kansas City first.
They beat Kansas City,
and then if they do, can they beat? They got 2 big games to win before they could even get there. And we'll see what happens. But tonight, I mean, Detroit. I like Detroit. I like their setup. I like the quarterback play is really, really good. And again, they do what's necessary to win. So I'll go with Detroit tonight. I think Detroit beats them by. I think they beat them by a touchdown or maybe 10.
I was thinking about a 14-point. I was looking at it like a 38-24 kind of game.
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay's run gives up tonight, just like Green Bay did. I mean, there's a good run. They shouldn't have been as far as they were. They beat some teams on the way, but I think it's over. And then I hope Tampa Bay signs Baker, gives him 2 or 3 years, and just lets him run the team. I mean, he's earned it. He deserves it.
Sure he does.
And
but I don't know if they would.
Well, I know
you don't give. I mean, look at some of the quarterbacks that are getting deals. I mean, why wouldn't you give him a 3-year deal? Why wouldn't you? He's better than better than some of the other quarterbacks that are out there.
Well, they can always go get Deshaun Watson.
They can always go get Mitch Trubisky. God, I hope he's out there.
Wow. So the Steelers signed Mike Tomlin's going to hang around again.
Yep,
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a good figurehead. He's a good. The team likes to play for him.
Right. He's the players' coach. He's a Steeler through and through. As a Steelers fan, my whole life I've seen 3 coaches. I saw Chuck Noll, I saw Cowher, and now I've seen Tomlin, and that's it. So
and that's
sometimes they're loyal to a fault. as far as the players go, and refusal to re-sign players, but it kind of backfires on them sometimes. But that's just who the Steelers are, and if you're a Steelers fan, then you learn to take those learn to take those ups and downs.
That's correct.
Understand what they're going to do and how they create their teams, and that's how
Well,
they do it.
well, sure, and I mean now we got new coaches still being tossed around. They say Belichick is looking at the Falcons. Or the.
I really think he ends up in Atlanta. I really do. And for your sake, I hope he does.
Well, the thing about it, Atlanta's had so many coaches over the years, and they keep trying and they keep trying. And again, it's a little bit of the coach, but it's more about the personnel. Is Belichick? See, what worries me about Belichick going to Atlanta is it going to be the same thing as Saban? Because Saban, he's no longer at Alabama because he can't. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Everything I've read is he doesn't like the system to where guys can just leave whenever they want to. He doesn't like the NIL system, and that's fine. He can't coach the way it is now because he doesn't have any.
He don't have that control.
Doesn't have control of all the kids.
Right.
And Belichick is the type of guy. I
think if he goes to the Falcons, it's strictly to go after the record. I don't think.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I just don't think. I don't think a coach can come in there and take a guy. I mean, take what the personnel they have and turn it around. It takes years to bring in the right coordinators, to bring in the right personnel to play your type of offense, play your type of defense. I don't know if he's got that many years left in him to roll them around. I mean,
and I just wonder
if he takes them to a Super Bowl. Hey, I'm wrong, and I'll admit it. But
you're not going to have to admit that.
It's not.
I just wonder, any team, I would pick a team that. How excited are the players to have Belichick come coaching? I mean, you're not.
Again,
with so many young coaches out there, with so many coordinators out there, with so many quote player coaches out there, are you going to be excited if you're Desmond Ritter or any of the Falcons players are saying, "Hey, great, I got Bill Belichick coming"?
I say no.
Yeah.
So, I say that I've never liked the recycling of coaches. If they lost over here and they're not good enough to coach over here, why are they good enough to coach for you? There's a reason they cut these guys loose, but they keep recycling them and going from because he's an experienced coach. Yes, he's an experienced coach who loses. Well, it's just I don't know. I know it's all about a business, and I know the head coach is the figurehead. It's going to get him some
publicity,
get them publicity, get them watched, and get them spoken.
They'll get on TV a couple
mentioned
times
on ESPN.
There.
Well, yeah, they'll be the new, they'll be the team of the whatever, and we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I may be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, so I don't know. So that's what we got. We'll see what happens this evening, and then we'll talk about what's coming up next week as soon as we get the wins tonight, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'm kind of thinking. Well, what's your prediction? I mean, I'm thinking 49ers and Lions. I'm thinking Bills and Ravens.
I will go.
49ers and Lions.
49ers and Lions. Playing in San Francisco, it's they're going to be probably favored by 9 points.
Sure.
Are they that? Let's assume weather's good this time. I don't. I would like for Detroit to win. I'll be pulling for Detroit to win. Can they beat San Francisco? Yes. Will they beat them? I'm going to go for Team of Destiny. Yes, Detroit wins it. Detroit wins, they win tonight. They beat San Francisco. They go to the Super Bowl. What do you got?
Yeah, I got the same thing. I got the Lions. I got the Lions going to the Super Bowl. I think it's their time. I think they just got everything clicking. They look good, and like I said, part of it might be a hard pick, but I just really think Dan Campbell is a hell of a coach. He's done good. He's turned them into something that's effective, that's winning.
They believe in themselves.
And so, yeah, I've got the Lions going also. And then I've got the Bills and Ravens, if what we predicted.
I think the Bills beat the Chiefs tonight just because they're at home. That little bit extra advantage is going to be there. I still think the Chiefs are off some way, so I'll get the Bills tonight. And can they beat the Ravens in Baltimore? Yes, they can. I think that they are capable. I think that they can put more points on the board than the other teams they've played to this point. I think it probably will be a shootout. Baltimore's always got a good defense, but can Josh Allen pick through that defense? I think he can. I'm going to go with Buffalo tonight, and I'm going to go with Buffalo over Baltimore. Of course, next week we'll probably talk about who's going to win, Kansas City or Baltimore. But I'll go Baltimore tonight. I'll go Baltimore. So 2 weeks out, I'm picking it, and we'll see next week if I'm right. So I'm going Buffalo, Detroit, and Super Bowl.
All right, I've got you up to the same point, but unfortunately, I got the Ravens beating the Bills.
Yeah,
just too much Lamar Jackson.
Well,
and again, as a Steeler fan, I hope the Ravens get blown out, but I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to. I would love to.
So personal.
Yeah, I do. I would love to see Buffalo and Detroit in the Super Bowl. That would be great. That would be.
It'd be good for the NFL.
The stories they could tell on it, the lead up to it, the
12-hour pregame show.
Yeah, which I might actually watch part of it if they did that. Two teams that have never won the Super Bowl.
It might be good.
You got Goff and you got Josh Allen. You got to get the quarterback stories. That would just be great.
Well, I think Josh Allen. Deserved. I hate to use the word deserved, but he's done a lot. I mean, Lamar Jackson. He's fun to watch. I want to see Josh Allen in a Super Bowl. I just want to see him, and I want to give him the opportunity. And Detroit, Buffalo, it'd just be a good. It'd be a good game.
Right. I would love to see Buffalo win it. I just don't think they will. I think the Ravens will be there. And I think you're going to get a Baltimore-Detroit Super Bowl.
Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
We'll see what happens next week, and I don't know if we're going to be casting Saturday or Sunday, but we'll figure it out. And we'll see what's going on next week and make predictions from there.
And and I was. Just to kind of throw it at you, I was thinking, because we're talking about Buffalo, talking about Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one making the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Neither one. There's not any real big name other than your Josh Allen. He's making Super Bowl. He's still young, though. But I was going through my head trying to think of all-stars, players who never got that chance, who never got a chance to play in the Super Bowl.
A lot of them never got to play in the Super Bowl.
That were well deserved, that should have had that.
Oh,
should have had that.
So you mean the stars,
the big stars of the game? You really wish would have had a shot to play, get to the Super Bowl. And I was trying to think of it on my own. I came up with about 5 or 6. I knew off the top of my head. Then I got to thinking.
You came up with 5 or 6?
I came up with 5.
Well, I know. I
came up with 6.
Well, as an Oklahoma State guy, I know Barry Sanders never got to. I mean, I think he's the greatest running back ever to play the game.
I came up.
Walter Payton fans, hey, I'm with you. But I mean, Barry Sanders never got to play in one, and I think he should have. He just never had the team around him.
Yeah. So I came up with 6, and I got to thinking. I got to looking. I was like, there's got to be more that are Hall of Famers, and there were some that I.
Okay. Can I guess?
Yeah. Go ahead. I got them all wrote down right here.
Who is the quarterbacks for Barry Sanders? Is this when Danielson was there?
Doesn't matter.
That's true. But so he was just so good. He really okay. And I'll use the word deserve. He deserved to be in a Super Bowl.
Sure.
But then on that same thing, another Oklahoma State guy, Thurman Thomas. Well, he played in a Super Bowl. He played in 3 Super Bowls. He never won one.
Yep.
Never did Jim Brown play in one?
Yes.
Did he really?
Yep. Early on.
Damn. I know Marino played in one and he lost.
Yeah. See, I did another list of ones who never won one, and of course Marino's name always comes up.
Did Elway play? Elway won. Elway he won one. Man, boy, you're testing me here.
Yep.
Are they running backs?
Here, let me give you some.
Yeah, give me.
I listed 13 of them.
Okay.
You've got Barry Sanders already.
I got Sanders.
1, 2, 3, 5 more running backs.
5 more running
backs
that are Hall of Fame type running backs.
Yes. 2 quarterbacks.
Wow.
2 wide receivers.
Well, Roethlisberger played.
1 tight. Don't start with me with Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger played.
A tight end, and then 2 defensive players.
A tight end.
That's one of the ones I didn't get.
Tight end.
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
And I'll just give you a little bit of a hint on one of them, just because we're in Oklahoma. One of them's from Oklahoma, so not the University of Oklahoma, but the state of Oklahoma.
He's an Oklahoman.
Yeah.
Steve Largent.
There you go.
He never got. He played on some bad.
He played
teams.
with Jim Zorn.
He played on some bad Seattle Seahawks teams, man.
Those of us who go back to the 70s and 80s, the old Jim Zorn offenses.
Wow, this freezes me up here. Trying to think of some quarterbacks.
The running backs.
If any of you out there know, put it on the chat there. Well, I'll have the answers for you here in a second because he's got them over there.
Yeah.
Give me some of the the oldest ones in there. Give me one of them.
One of them, one of the ones I definitely didn't get was Deacon Jones. defensive lineman. Rams,
man.
Chargers.
The Rams never played?
Rams, Chargers. I think he played for Washington at the end of his career, but yeah, no, he never. I didn't know that either. I just took for granted he did when he played for the Rams. But
I thought the Roman Gabriel
he was
Rams
before
went.
that. Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Okay, that's a good one. Because he's a. Leroy Selman never got to play one, but and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I didn't have him down.
Well, he's in the Hall of Fame.
Are you sure? Tampa Bay played in one. Selman. The old Doug Williams.
But did Selman play in it?
I think Selman played in that year. I think.
Doug Williams did quarterback Tampa Bay after he did the Redskins.
Uh-huh.
Damn. See. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What else you got?
All right. The next oldest one. Because the rest of them are pretty
solid.
Pretty solid.
See, I'm trying to. My head is not.
Dick Butkus was the other defense.
See, I thought the Bears played in the Super Bowl with Butkus.
I'll wipe out both defensive players.
I thought Butkus played in the Super Bowl.
I didn't. That's another one I didn't get.
Because he played a lot with Sayers. Sayers went to the Super Bowl, didn't he?
No, we didn't. That wasn't that one.
Son of a bitch.
That whole area right there.
Son of a.
Yeah, Sayers was another
Wow.
one.
See, I thought Sayers and Butkus both went together.
Now the last.
Wow. The
last 8 that I have all played from the 70s through into
okay,
the
so
2000s.
so I can't say it. 'Cause no Cowboys. Well, no Cowboys never go to the Super Bowl anymore. So
well, they did back then.
Well, but Troy Aikman's been there, and so
right.
Aikman and Irvin and all those guys. Let's see who else has never been. The Lions have never been. So Alex Karras, so he's, well, he probably because they did go. No, they haven't been to the Super Bowl.
No,
but there's really not any other
list. He's more famous for punching in horses.
I don't think there's any more Lions in there. Though.
No, there's no more Lions.
Archie Manning?
Nope. I didn't have him. He may not have been to one, but
he wasn't.
No,
Hall of Fame quality. No. Eli went.
He's more famous. His kids are more famous.
Hell, I'll be here all day. Give me
give me some. I'll give you some hints.
Let me go.
Running backs: Houston, Buffalo,
Earl
the
Campbell.
There you go.
Earl Campbell, O.J. Simpson.
Yep.
In the Rams.
Yep.
Eric Dickerson.
Yep. Those are the ones I got.
Wow, that's right. Simpson never got to play.
Yep. And another running back played for the Chargers.
Chuck Muncie.
Nope.
He played for the Chargers.
Man.
I know. I'm reaching there.
Played way back on that one.
Played for the Chargers. Jeez.
He probably didn't play him. I mean, you're probably right. Muncie probably never did, but
yeah, he's not Hall of Fame.
This is more of a current day, not still playing current day, but a newer.
I'm drawing a blank on the Chargers.
Danian Thomas.
Ooh, see, I thought he went too.
Nope. And you got a tight end, a wide receiver, and 2 more quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, tight end.
I got 1 quarterback.
Tight end is a hard position to determine whether or not they're graded. I mean, Keith Jackson was really good, but he played in the Super Bowl.
This is the guy. I actually had to look up to see where he stood. He's actually sixth among most receptions ever.
Who is it?
Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, he didn't
before the Chiefs got good.
So he was really, really good.
He was amazing.
He did stuff that a wide receiver.
He did stuff. Yeah, he was like. I mean, I know Ozzie Newsome back in the day, but Gonzalez was one of those guys that really started.
Well, he was big.
He's one of those guys that started to turn that.
Yeah, he was big. He was fast. He was quick.
Right.
He was.
You weren't just a blocking tight end.
Great hands.
He was actually a tight end who was a receiver.
Yes.
So you got 1 more wide receiver and 2 quarterbacks. You got to get at least one of the quarterbacks because I got one of them. But you got 1 more wide receiver played for the Vikings.
Randy Moss?
Nope. He played with Patriots, I believe.
Another wide receiver? Mm-hmm. Well, Adrian Peterson never played Super Bowl, did he? Of course, he's crazy. Another Minnesota Viking wide receiver.
Yep. Number 13 on the all-time receptions list. I had to look that up, too, because I wasn't sure. I knew he was up there, but I didn't know where he was.
Chris Carter,
yep.
didn't he?
Yep, that's him.
Chris Carter.
And you got 2 quarterbacks. I'm surprised you didn't get one of the quarterbacks. You got 2 quarterbacks.
So there's 2 more left?
There's 2 more I just did like the 13 that I could think of, or the ones that I thought were, big enough names or Hall of Fame names that
let's see, Bradshaw
kind of surprising in this. Yeah, Bradshaw did.
Staubach
Bradshaw's MVP.
LA, Unitas did. Namath did.
These are 80s quarterbacks. 80s, 90s.
So we're not going the Archie Manning
way.
Joe Ferguson with the Bills is a no-go. Who was that? Marino, Elway.
I'm trying to think who one of them was throwing to.
Who else was in there?
I'm trying to think of one of the receivers, but I can't think of.
Give me the team.
The Oilers and the Chargers.
Pastorini?
No.
Come on,
Pastorini.
man. Dan Pastorini. And the Charge, Dan Fouts.
There you go.
Absolutely fantastic quarterback.
He was one of my favorites to watch.
He was, golly, he was so good.
He was the beginning of that.
Let's
throw the ball.
So there's a Houston Astro. Astros.
Not an Astro. Oiler.
A Houston Oiler quarterback that's a Hall of Famer that didn't go to a Super Bowl. See, I thought Pastorini was the quarterback of the 80s for them.
Yeah, he's probably later. He's probably got my dates mixed up.
I'm confused.
Hang on. Make sure I'm not lying to you.
Well, you probably are.
No, yeah,
I'm
late.
Smart.
Yeah, mid to late 80s.
Shit.
Also played for the Vikings and the Seahawks and the Chiefs later on in his career, but.
Okay, I'm out.
Warren Moon.
Well, now I don't know.
13th.
Boy, I don't.
He's 13th on all-time passing. He's going to be. I don't know if he's actually in the Hall of Fame yet, but he's going to be. Just because he was part of that, let's throw the ball, 40, 50 times.
True.
Randall Cunningham era. That's when they, started running all the time. And
True.
Dante Culpepper, Warren Moon, and Cunningham.
He was impressive.
Yep.
He was impressive.
Yep.
Hang on 1 second for a second. I'm going to pause for a second. I don't like doing this, but I have to pause for a quick second. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Had a little heating issue going on in here. Yeah, we're running a little heater. Hey, I mean, the NFL, they can sit on heated benches. I can run a little bit of a log burner back there, but okay. Well, hey, that's
subscribe.
Yeah, really, we need to buy a heater because we're going to be out here in the elements because we love the game. And I really don't want to move all the crap into the house like I did last time because it's really hard moving all this stuff in there. So, all right, well, that's pretty good. And I tested my brain there. I don't.
Thought it was a good little.
Well, that's interesting. I wouldn't have grabbed the Warren Moon thing, but it makes sense. The guy played well. Hey, listen, I was thinking about this the other day. I pulled this off, and I was wondering, the NFL, it's almost done. Then we got the draft coming up. The big Caleb Williams, is he going to go? Whatever.
Oh, hey, I'm going to interrupt you there. Did you see his latest statement?
You mean after he said that he told the Bears to get rid of their trade their?
Yeah, no. After that, somebody was talking to him, and he made the comment that, well, if I'm going to get drafted, I'd really like to just get drafted by the Dolphins. I like their offense. I like to be able to throw to Tyreek Hill, and so I'm sorry, I said that in there. The guy just needs to shut up.
Well, but he's
already declared for the draft.
Well, no, but see, this is what the NIL is doing. Yes. I'm afraid it's giving these kids. They think that they can start directing the NIL. It takes it out of the college's hand. The college that's already offered him a scholarship, already paying for his schooling, already doing all these things. Well, then the NIL comes in and they can, name. Image and likeness. Okay, I get that. But they're being bought by other donors of other universities, like the Florida State problem. And so, but the college that initially recruited the kid doesn't get anything back for paying for his college. I mean, I think the kid should pay his college back for the money they gave him to go to school. Personal feelings. I mean, I know, but it's just. I mean, I got to look and I pulled some of this stuff down, and I don't understand it. I mean, the booster involvement, back in the 70s, and when all the paying players under the table and all that stuff really came to light, they made a big deal out of these boosters not being. We had it here in Oklahoma 2 or 3 times. There's people down in Norman that were paying players, and they went to work for them. But and the thing is, that's the same thing that this is. I mean, they're just offering these kids bukus of money, and
it's just out. And what's the funny part about it is they keep saying that the schools can't have a part of it. They can't.
And they are.
They can't have anything to do with it. They can't be.
The
Into it.
the boosters send the money to the school. The school thanks the boosters. The school has a list of who the boosters are. Now, and so they're saying that the school is not going to tell this kid that this is a booster that wants to. Hey, come on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. I don't. I think it's going to be the downfall of college football.
If they don't get a hold of it, I think it will be.
They're
going to have they're. I don't know what the right phrasing I'm looking for here. They're going to have to put some kind of parameters,
limitations,
just like the portal. Now they've started. I know, like I had the dates wrote down, and the dates where you can jump in, jump out.
Sure,
but the story about the kid this week who's going into his 9th year. He's getting a 9th year to play now.
Exactly.
At some point,
he's a 27-year-old.
You've got
senior.
Yeah, unless you're a Mormon.
Well,
and you're going off and doing the work
sure,
and then coming back.
Sure.
That's always been the thing. But you've got to put parameters on it at some point in time. I think Florida State's just the beginning of this. Mm-hmm. You're going to start to get some coming down the line now. They're going to start saying, okay, you can pay them,
sure,
but you can't do this.
Sure. They've always allowed kids to go out on mission, and that's fine. I got no problem with that. Sure. But this is opening up so many issues that the transfer portal is 50%. You're getting more money out of an NIL deal if you go to you leave here and go here. We're going to get you more money because our booster. Well, that had to come from the coach that's doing the recruiting, that's trying to pull the kid. He's got to tell the kid that I got bigger boosters that can give you.
Sure.
So that's already interfering in the situation of what the NIL is, and it's just it's.
And there may be something I don't know about, but yeah, it's the same. I mean, look at Malachi Nelson. I think Nelson's last name.
Whoa.
The USC quarterback supposed to be the next big gun.
Right.
He's going. I think I heard he's going to Tulane.
And that's not because of more NIL money.
Yeah. I think there was a big name. I'm pretty sure it was.
Well,
to Tulane.
Whoever it is. I mean,
you're not going to go from the major.
Well, like I say, I downloaded this just to kind of get a grip on what the NIL is all about. It's like 6 or 7 pages of just what it is, what's next, what they can do, what they can't do, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, and it's such a convoluted mess, and it's not going to be good for him. I mean, you look at like we've already talked about 2 weeks ago how it's destroyed bowl games, this transfer portal, how kids aren't going to play because now they're worried about getting more money at a different university rather than this, and
just leave and go.
Well, that they're getting that information from a coach, and the coach is getting the information from a booster, and so we've already broken the line here.
Yeah, go ahead and jump in the portal because
sure, jump in the portal. We'll grab you. We'll bring you out here to wherever.
Even if they don't, they're jumping in the portal just to see what's out there,
and then they're allowed to come back if nobody grabs them.
After a period, there's a period of time they have to.
Back in the day, if you wanted to transfer schools, that was fine, but you had to sit out a year, and then you could play. Look, Troy Aikman's a perfect example. He went to OU. If some of you guys don't know this, he was recruited by Barry Switzer. He went to OU. He played half of a year, a few games, got hurt. And then Holloway comes in, and the rest is history. But, he saw he wasn't going to get to play because they were going to change the offense for him.
Sure.
Then he got hurt. They bring Holloway in. They go back to the wishbone. And then he says, well, I'm out of here. He has to sit out his sophomore year at UCLA. He gets to play 2 years, and then he goes to the NFL. Yeah. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I mean, if you get in the portal, there should be a limitation of how many times you can get in the portal. And I think they're going to have to do that because it's going to ruin this. It's going to ruin college football as we know it.
I think before long they're going to start putting some parameters in.
Well, they have to. It's just out of control.
Yeah.
I mean,
and some coaches are saying that. Some coaches are making it known that it's all fine and good and great for the players. I still think if I was in college and I would want money, I would want to get paid for being on the video games, being on the the name
Well,
and
you
the likeness
should.
thing. You should get
You
something.
should.
I have no problem with the players getting the money, but it's the way it's going about now that I think you're just going to run into a major issue.
Well, you are. You're going to run into some problems, and it's going to be. They're not going. I mean, it's just going to get. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. So they're going to. I think they'll put some parameters around. I'm very interested to watch the NFL draft, just to see who goes and how high, and what's going to happen to. Because I mean, once you declare for the draft, you can't go back, or can you?
No, I think you can. I think you have it. There's a time frame.
But it's before the draft.
Yeah, it's before.
So it's not like baseball.
No.
Basically, you get drafted in the 7th round. You say, "Nah, I'm not going to play for the. I'm not going to. I want to go to A ball for the Tampa Bay Rays. I want to go back to college, and that's fine in baseball.
Right.
But it's not. But they're still not there. And you got to pull back before you go to
because you're not going straight to the
Well, but then again, you've got the new UFL coming in, and so a lot of these kids they're still going to want to get out of college.
Well, the guys who aren't getting drafted, who don't have those big deals or whatever, and they're done with this. 4, 5, 6, 7 years of college.
There's a place
they
for
them.
Go play. There's a place for them, and I like that. I wish they would. I wish it was possible to get that UFL league up to about I don't know, 15, 20 teams.
Yeah, I think they're at 12, I believe.
They got 6 from each league, and to let it really be a bona fide minor league football. I
mean, with the people they got backing and the people that got supporting it, and I believe Fox has the rights. I think.
Well, Fox and ABC both.
ABC, yeah.
But if
they're going to promote it, they're going to. I mean, you got The Rock behind it.
They are, but how much money are they willing to shell out? McMahon did it with the XFL. He shelled out money, and it blew up. The USFL died.
McMahon tried to make it. He tried to make it a sideshow. He put in all the.
He did.
This is more. This is closer to football than
it is.
What McMahon tried to throw into some of the garbage he was putting up.
Well, it is, but it gives these kids another place to play.
And a legit place to play.
A legit place to play. And, you're getting decent coaches in there, so good figureheads, good people that can sell the product. Yep. You're getting in semi-big cities. But if they were able to get it up to the 32 teams, let each NFL franchise have a AAA football team.
That would be cool.
I mean, it would be good for the kids because there's another. Let me do the math.
No, they've done it. They've done it in every other sport. I mean, I don't know if that's what they're looking at. I mean, it'd be cool if they did. I mean, because NBA's got your G League and they got your you can go play over in Europe for a while and then you still come back over.
I mean, if you got 32 teams, each one of them has a minor league team, if you will. 40 guys on each roster. You're looking at another 1,300 players that can play professional football, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
If they decide to go that way, that would be nice. I'm really curious. I didn't watch a whole lot of the XFL or a whole lot of the USFL. I watched a little bit of it. The USFL I thought was a better brand.
The first time or the second time?
The second time. The second time coming to.
Sure.
But this spring, I'm really going to watch it. I'm really interested to see what they do now that they've merged. That they've trying to make it a legitimate.
See, the first time around, a lot of you folks may not remember the first USFL back in the '80s when they tried, and they literally took a lot of the good players out of college.
Well, Steve Young was one of the big names.
Herschel Walker.
Yeah, Herschel Walker.
Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean, they all went there because they were getting more money, and they blew themselves out. They spent too much money too fast, and it lost money because nobody wanted to go watch it because it was a bad product from the beginning, and it was marketed incorrectly or whatever the case may be. But this one here I found very interesting a couple of weeks ago whenever The Rock was on Fox Sunday Football. Mm-hmm. He was on the pregame show promoting the UFL.
Sure.
The NFL is allowing the UFL to promote on their
part of it. Yeah.
On their program. This tells me that there's something in there. Yeah. This tells me there's something brewing down there that they're going to maybe start working together, which should be, I think, it's just a great thing. And where I was going with this whenever this got out here was that they've got to do something at the professional level to curtail this NIL transfer portal crap, because if the kids see there's more than just 32 teams out there to where they can go play professionally and make money, I'm hoping it'll slow this down, this NIL
Well,
crap.
like you said, though, it depends on if they can make money. If you're going to pay a kid $500,000 to play for UFL, and he's going to get $1 million to play another year of college football and transfer to Notre Dame,
Right.
why would he leave?
Well, because you get 1 year at $1 million, or you get a 5-year contract at $500,000. I mean, there's and a chance to go to the NFL.
So,
I mean, you play one
if
more.
you got a chance to go. Right?
But it's these kids here that use this excuse of not playing in a bowl game. Well, I might get hurt. Well, you're not okay. So you're saying if you hear me out, stay with me on this. If you're going to say that you might get hurt, so you're not going to play a bowl game, but you're willing to transfer to Oregon State because you get an NIL contract for $1 million for 1 year, and you could get hurt, and that'll cost you an NFL contract possibly, where you can get a 5-10 year deal. So, quick money here or a future in the NFL.
You're talking kids, unless they got, you got some of that Caleb Williams, who's obviously getting some bad advice from his dad or whoever.
He's getting bad advice.
Or you got, these kids are looking for that quick, I'm going to get $2-3 million here, and then even if I do get hurt, well, I'll be fine for a while. They're not thinking. But, I mean, I don't know what I would do if I was that age and I was 19, 20 years old and I'm being told, go to college and, hey, by the way, go over here and, sit on a commercial 3 times a week and we'll give you $2 million.
Well, see, this is another part I read in the NIL deal. It says that the kids do have a right to an agent with this NIL stuff, and so at this point, you got someone that's got an agent who's a sophomore in college, who's telling him, this agent's going to be working for, he's going to make money for himself. So, if he gets this $1 million deal at Purina or whatever, to stay in college, he's going to tell this kid, best thing you can do is stay in college, get that money.
Get that for another year.
Get him paid, get everybody paid. And it's just ugly. I think it's ugly. I just think it's going to go, I just think it's going to get worse. I just don't see it getting any better.
Well, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. At some point in time, they're going to put like I said, they'll put some kind of parameters on it at some point in time. But what all's going to happen before it happens, before it crumbles?
That's
true.
Crumble.
It's never going to crumble, but
it's just I just think it hurts.
Before somebody just oversteps in a big way.
Yeah. So, Well, all right. Here's my speech. Here's my soapbox. I got out there on the internet and tried to figure out just exactly what NIL was, and I think I'm more confused after the fact than I am right now. So it's one of those deals. I think they make it confusing as hell, so nobody will understand, so nobody can complain about it. But
this is just in football. I mean, you got. This is down to Nebraska's volleyball team. They're so big now. Caitlin Clark with women's basketball.
Exactly. Well, and this is something we're going to get into, in our future cast. Where college basketball's picking up. Yeah. It's a different product now.
Oh, it's a lot. And I love college basketball, but again, we're from Oklahoma, and I tried watching OSU and OU play. Mm-hmm. OU's ranked 15, I think, right now. OSU's struggling, but just from the teams from last year, there's, I think, 2 players from last year.
Yeah.
I mean, they clean house every year. The kids jump, they leave. Still a good product. Still love watching college basketball, but it's not like it was. You don't know these players anymore.
Right. Well, and that I rail on coaching every now and then. You guys are going to have to get used to that. I'm sorry, but this is one of those deals that you're going to at the college basketball level now. Coaching is so important.
Oh, it has to be.
I mean, it's so important now.
Yeah, because you don't know who you're getting, when they're coming to you. You'll have, you'll have transfers coming to you on their senior year because, they'll be to you for their senior year, and you're the 4th college they've been to because they're just looking for that chance to get on. To coming to the OU's, coming to your Kansases, coming to for a chance to be seen because they played for. Smaller colleges.
This will go back to the 70s and 80s here in Oklahoma. You had the OU and OSU basketball was huge and incredibly huge. Then we get the Thunder here, and it just kind of collapsed. Yeah. Because you got pro basketball and what used to be a college basketball market. It just did this, so it was already declining in
attendance.
Attendance viewership because of the NBA franchise. And by the way, go Thunder. my gosh, we're going to talk about that next time too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we'll stop railing on this NIL stuff and this transfer portal stuff moving forward. We got to get it out. Football season's almost over. Had to get it out. Had to throw it out there. The NFL draft is coming up, and
we'll get into it again when the draft.
When is that? In March? April. So we'll get on. We'll get into it then. But that's all we got on that for this time. I tell you what we'll do here for the wrestling fans of you out there. We got the Royal Rumble coming up next Saturday. How about we do a midweek show on the Rumble?
We can do that.
Let's do some.
Depends on my situation.
Yeah, well, I think you can handle it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Medical procedure. We'll figure something out. But anyway, Rumble's next Saturday. If we can get to a quick one and do some talking predictions on that thing, we might. See what we think, where we're going to go. Rollins got hurt. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Didn't look good whenever he went down.
They need to. What? I mean, just real quick. What for those of y'all who do follow us for this or watch? I watch both shows in AEW and WWE, and not a damn thing happened.
No. It's pretty weak.
Nothing anywhere. TNA was the most talked about the week for what it is for the people coming in, coming out, and a couple. It's NJBW stars moving, but nothing of importance to really talk about has happened. So
and it's odd because usually right before the Rumble, they're really building it up. AEW just did a couple of good pay-per-views, and it just. Boom! It just crashed.
Yep.
And
I watched all 3 of their shows this week, and
in
hopes of something to talk about.
I'm not a big fan of AEW. I watched one of them.
Yeah, and
I wasn't impressed.
Nothing. There was just nothing stretching out, nothing developing really. I mean, they got stuff developing, but nothing of nothing that's of interest, making me say, man, I can't wait till next week. So hopefully this week will be a little bit better and a little bit more.
Yeah.
More something to talk about. That's why we stuck with football.
Don't you miss that?
I miss it a lot.
I mean, back in Monday Night Wars, and you had your WCW, you had your WWF, and it was just you always had to watch it was literally must-see TV for wrestling fans because it was.
Because something was going to happen, something different, something
every week,
something cool you would see
every week,
something to talk about, and that's when it really started getting talked about in mainstream, not just for us who watched it anyway.
Yeah,
it started to get mainstream, and it's mainstream as ever now.
Oh yeah,
I mean it's more popular now amongst.
And it's popular for different reasons.
Yeah,
it's odd.
I mean, so many sports. I mean, look at George Kittle. I mean, he talks about it and promotes it all the time. It's really, really mainstream now, and so I don't know. We're gonna see. Like I said, this week's show should have something happening. Hopefully, for the build up, but we'll see.
I mean, which bowl game was it that they gave away title belts when they won? The
yeah,
Fiesta Bowl?
I think so.
I mean, the WWE sponsored the bowl game, had the big belt out there on the field, and they all got big
good. I'm glad
title belts. It was awesome.
I'm glad to see that. I mean,
it's awesome.
It's fun.
I just missed some stories, so maybe they'll beef up the stories with Mania coming up. AEW is trying to change gears again for the 1500th time, trying to figure out what they're trying to do.
Tony Khan is just.
Do you think they're getting into a WCW lull to where they've got too many programs going and they can't keep them all going?
Possibly. Tony Khan keeps coming out making special announcements. You hear the special announcement this week?
I haven't heard this one. No. What's this?
He come out on I got another special announcement. And he comes out and says he's going to bring the ranking system back. It's what they did early on. It means, and again, we get it. It's predetermined. And if you do comment, don't comment with a smart-ass comment about that.
Yeah, but come on. We love this stuff.
But it's something that it's meaningless. It's not something that, it's not a story. It's not anything that's going to make somebody say, okay, well, now this is going to be fun to watch now. We're going to see where he's ranked. Come on.
Well, maybe we'll get some decent storylines.
We'll see.
This week is the week before the Rumble. Friday Night SmackDown was just okay.
Just a show.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it was just a show.
Same thing. But I will say this: they did let Orton come out and knock Reigns down.
Uh-huh.
I did like that. That was moving forward on that storyline.
But it's going to be for nothing if they just flip it right back around
and let Reigns win.
And Reigns wins again.
He's gonna.
Because then you're burying Styles, Knight, and Orton.
And the Rock story, because the Rock can't face Reigns for the title at
Something else
WrestleMania.
happened.
He can't face him
And
for the title.
I don't think. I mean, I don't see Reigns appearing at the Rumble or at the Chamber at WrestleMania. I don't see him doing consecutive. I don't think he can do it.
No, I think he's got to do the Rumble. Mm-hmm. But I think if he comes to the Chamber, he's going to be there just as a mouthpiece, as a figurehead. Come out. They're going to have the Rock. The Rock will confront Reigns at Elimination Chamber and talk about the bloodline. That may be what they do. They're still saying they want to spill more money to get him over there to Australia. I don't know if the Rock will go. I don't know if he'll go.
If I was promoting that thing, I'd want his ass out there too.
Sure. I mean, he may go. If he does, I think it'll be a bloodline segment. I don't think it'll be a match.
No, I don't think so. I'm assuming, because he's done it before. I'm assuming the Rock's got a one match thing. He'll come and build up. He'll do a Mania thing. And
sorry about that, yawn there, folks. So, I mean, maybe a one and done like it always is, but I don't know. I need something.
Yeah, there was nothing to talk about.
There's too many maybes out here, getting ready. But anyway, that's about all I got. What do you got?
That is it. Like I said, we wanted to focus on football just because that's the world right now. Everything going on there. So continue to watch. We may throw out another little special.
You caught the last one.
Special podcast, little side thing that we like to do every now and then. Throw out there just to get some people involved. So if you haven't seen it, please jump on to and subscribe to our podcast and see what it was. So
like us, subscribe,
comment,
leave comments, let us know how wonderful we are.
Yep.
I mean, look at this guy. Anyway, we do appreciate your time. Come by and see us. More it gets closer to spring, more we'll probably have some more people in here mingling around while we do this. Get some shout outs from the audience out there as we sit here and do this thing. Try to do a couple of them more with more mingling of the outer rim there.
Yep. And just to start putting it out there now, we're huge baseball guys. We're going to put together a preseason baseball
show. We're going to have
a big show. We're going to have a couple,
3 or 4 more people here, or 2 or 3 more people here with us. Kind of kick around predictions.
Yep, it's going to be a huge show. That's really our time of year. We love baseball, so
yep, we may do that.
We'll kick it around.
We'll do that. So, stay in touch. Subscribe, like, comment, and we will see you next time. And we do appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.